A lot of people think the wrong things about Earth. It ain't no fucking school. You're not here to learn. You trapped. A lot of people know you trapped in prison, right? And the way out is in. A lot of people know. Everybody think the way out is the key on the inside. No, the biggest trick that they ever did was took something that was in you, hid it from you, and the whole time it's still in you.
Man.
Right? That's the biggest trick that ever been done. People looking for the way out. That's why they lining up to the church and they giving them all the money because they looking for the way out, the outward way, but the way out is in. That's why everybody's still stuck here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing wrong with religion. I'm not saying nothing wrong with God. I'm saying something is wrong with the pastor. Something is wrong with the imam in the mosque. I'm not saying nothing wrong with religion. I'm not saying nothing wrong with God.
They got our favorites under a spell too. They still got 607 B-Dale. And I feel like Rod Hayes too. And it's not like the crazy part is, I'm gonna show y'all the proof of what I'm talking about, right? It's actually called The Chosen Ones. It's about the chosen one. Beyond understanding that we are the indigenous people of this land, there's a deeper story that goes to who we were to become the indigenous people of this land. And that's a story that's not really getting talked about because that's where our cosmic origins are. And I get frustrated because these dudes are extremely intelligent and articulate, and they have the platform. So I feel like they should be able to, or they should have already done the research, or especially B-Dale, because that's all he does is research and he uses these big ass words, you know what I'm saying? So I figured, he would be diving in, dissecting things, right? Rod Hayes definitely, because, he's decoded so many different things. Now, I got a different thing about Rod because I actually really, really respect the dude, you know what I'm saying? So I just really want to have a conversation with him so I can talk to him, maybe ask him some things, and because it seems like maybe he's just not giving it to the world, you know what I mean? But I just want to talk to him personally, you know what I mean? So I don't know how to get in contact with, actually, I'm going to try to reach out to him on his Instagram. But I tried to reach out to B-Dale. I emailed him, but he hasn't responded back to me yet. And, like I said, I got to talk to these guys because the reason why I clipped this is that a lot of people will say, there's nothing wrong with religion. There's nothing wrong with God. It's the pastor. And I asked this question before. If there was nothing wrong with God, if there was nothing wrong with religion, then how would the pastors be able to use religion in a negative manner? Wouldn't God do something about that? People laugh and they joke and be like, well, Jesus came in there, he kicked the tables over, and they murked him. Like, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if we're not paying attention to the fact that even the story, if you don't look at it like a worship story, look at it like, okay, well, the only person who actually came to, change what was going on got deleted. You feel me? Like, so whoever was in control should still be in control, right? And is most likely in control of what you're reading and religion. So once you get past the fact that, okay, if they're in control of it, they doctored the words, let's dive even further. Who are these people? Because now everybody's talking about Baal and Moloch and this, that, and the third, right? Who is that really like? Let's just do the research on that too. Let's dissect that as well. And when you dissect that, Baal and Moloch, you start getting into all of these different pantheons, and I know it gets to be a little confusing, but it can be. You can make sense of it. I've done it, and what you come up with is that the people that are of the New Wabian Holy Tablets, Dr. York teachings, that revere Anu as the Most High. Anu is Baal. And some of his offspring with Moloch's daughter. Like, it opens up to a different story when you actually really dive into what's really going on. And then you find out that, well, y'all know, the Sumerian gods was, Baal and Moloch, which would have been Anu, the Sky Father. And then you had Enki and Enlil, you know what I mean, which was running around there. And then you had the Sumerian kings. So if the kings came from divine right, which would have been the gods of that time, are you not, following the line? What this does is it brings me back to what happened. The time of Sumeria is not the beginning of time. It's the beginning of recorded time. It starts with what they consider to be the flood, right? But if you've been following my content, then you understand that the flood really is the fall and the sinking of Atlantis. If you then do the research on Atlantis, then you realize where we came from, who the chosen ones really are. They're supposed to wake up right now. Their lineage it was just, me too. Difference is there's certain implants that were put in. I was privy to certain knowledge and I removed those implants. I don't know if they have been privy to that knowledge or have removed those implants, because what's happening is they get to a certain point and they don't want to go into the next set of knowledge that would connect everything else, that would really clean up the mess that we're in and will take us to the next level. They have the platform, they even have the vernacular to give it to you. I have the documentation and I can give it to you, visually. But a lot of times y'all don't like to listen to me. So if you made it this far, make sure you share this with them. Get this video to them. Somebody get me in front of them. Someone get me on a podcast so we can sit down and have this conversation. I have my receipts and I love their work. I want to work. This is not a knock. This is no hate to them at all. I want us to make sure that everything is going exactly what it's supposed to do. And I recognize something that people may not be aware of. I'll share some of the information with you now. I'll give you a full day.